Respawn just cancelled a Titanfall and Apex single player game. Yes, you heard me right, EA and Respawn have scrapped a game 2 years in the making that was named Titanfall Legends. Let's talk about what the game would have been like and what this means for the future of Titanfall 2, and finally why EA and Respawn have actually come to this decision. Titanfall Legends was going to be a single player game that featured BT-7274 and other Titanfall characters. Players would be able to play as Blisk, and Apex Legends would show up to give the player different powers. The game's mechanics would be much more focused on Titanfall level playstyle than Apex Legends, including wall running, a new dash mechanic, and promoting close contact playstyle just like Titanfall and Titanfall 2, and some said this would have been a playstyle a bit like Doom Eternal. It is also said that BT was fixed by Rampart, which explains why BT would have been returned in the single player Titanfall Legends game, although I think this interaction is a little bit forced to try and mix Titanfall and Apex Legends, but either way, the game sounds incredible. I think we can all agree, whether you're a Titanfall or an Apex fan, that this game would have been very, very good and enjoyable, which makes it heartbreaking to see that it was just cancelled right before our eyes. But why did EA and Respawn make the decision to cancel a highly anticipated Titanfall and Apex single player game? First, we have to take a look at the developers in charge of the design of the game. Mohamed Alavi was one of the lead level designers for Titanfall Legends, who has designed incredible levels such as All Gillied Up, and he took the Titanfall project under his wing. However, Alavi left Respawn a year ago, leaving the game with no chief level designer. Now, if you're thinking from a developer standpoint and you want to mold a new Titanfall game, but we have just seen a highly regarded developer leave Respawn, would you be willing to risk your entire career for this game? Most likely not. So once a large amount of key developers left Respawn, the game was almost doomed to be cancelled, and originally the single player game was going to be within Apex and therefore funded by profits of Apex Legends, but from a standpoint of EA, this would likely put too much pressure on Apex Legends to live up to its profit goals, so that it might not be able to actually fund the single player game. Therefore, the game had to be separate from Apex, but had little guidance of where to go without its head developers, and few people will want to pick up the mantle of someone else's project. So sadly, the project has been cancelled, but what does this actually mean for the future of the Titanfall franchise? Titanfall Legends was the closest thing we were going to get to a Titanfall 3 in the next decade, and after this project failing, it demonstrates to EA that developing further Titanfall games is no longer reliable. Respawn is in the transition phase to being just another big name in gaming, whilst before they were an exciting company which had anticipated games in which new groundbreaking mechanics and playstyles could arise. Now it's more transitioned to be a more safe, profit-focused company, especially after the takeover with EA. This makes it increasingly likely for Respawn to focus on their multiple Star Wars games in development and not on potential projects like an extension to Titanfall franchise. Respawn's basically becoming the Star Wars and Apex studio and is no longer at all the Titanfall studio. I'm going to end the video on a quote from Jeff Grubb that kind of just sums up the entire future of Titanfall. Titanfall is going to be a memory now.